There is only one balloon that gives you total freedom and total asset protection. I wish I could pop it. Now that would have been cool. That would have been cool if I could have actually just pop. God damn it, Dwayne. Now y'all gave me another idea. Y'all gave me another idea. I'm gonna probably I'm probably duplicate this slide and just have like one. Y'all gave me another idea. I'm about to do a pop the balloon TikTok live session. Yo, my mind is just be all over the place. So anyway, let's get into it. Now that you understand, add that to my umbrella. I got you. Got it. Got it. All right. Let's get to the real nitty gritty. Typically, people want to go ahead and hey, how you doing? Thank you for your support. Typically, people want to people really want to set up what I call a legacy build. And I want y'all to understand this. And we're going to use, and again, I don't like to use the word common sense. I would like to use basically, let's call it logic for a second. In order for you to leave something behind for your family, you have to build it first. So, in this illustration, what you're seeing is us talking about we want to leave a legacy. Well, we first have to build a legacy, and it's simply. And again, I don't want you to get too hung up on the words of the companies, but just understand like the layers. Sort of like an umbrella. You have an operating company. Typically, your operating company is what you do on a day to day basis. So let's just say, and again, I always like to use ABC Lemonade. Let's just hypothetically say that you wanted to sell lemonade on the weekends. Cool. Well, the name of your lemonade company is ABC Lemonade. That's your operating company because it's operating, it's selling, it's doing some things. Well, then you have a corporate office, meaning like if someone wanted to file a complaint against you, um, they would basically file a complaint at your corporate office. That would be your parent company. And then the parent company is sits there to kind of oversee everything. Well, then your parent company, in theory, has an address. Whether that address may be a brick and mortar, whether that address is a virtual office. The owner of that property or the lease agreement, which is the virtual office, is called your landlord. In other words, that's your real estate investment trust. So you operate on the corner. Someone wants to make a complaint. They send the complaint to your corporate office, who sits on the corporate office sits on property owned by your real estate investment trust. And then what happens is your real estate investment trust and your parent company, they are both owned by your holding company. And your holding company is nothing more than a safe deposit box. It's basically holding ownership and the rights to everything that happens. And then right above the holding company, you see where it says business or family trust. In other words, that's like a living will. So if something happens to you and you die, the person who is your beneficiary or the trustee of the trust takes over, but everything that happens underneath there kind of stays in place. And then your nonprofit is basically you want to be able to just do some sort of charitable work in the community, educate people for free, go to church, whatever, right? It's simply that's the structure. Most people don't know how to structure this in a way where it gives them benefit. Or better, they don't even know what the benefit of having this is. So I'm going to break that down for you. And we're going to start with the operating company. Number one, what I want you to understand is this. If I asked you right now, let me go ahead and move my little face out the way. Let me make my face smaller. That way people can see this map. All right, here we go. Number one, if you said, hey, Dwayne, I want to come meet you at this event. Can you tell me where the event is? I'm going to tell you, I am going to give you the directions on how to get there. And when you arrive there successfully, you will notice that as soon as you arrive there, everything that you have ever wanted in life was waiting for you. This is the same thing when it comes to how do we build our business. That means we have to have a map. Now, many of people have heard me say this, and I want to go ahead and preface this by saying you should never follow anyone's directions who has never been where you are trying to go. So if you are trying to reach the destination of success, chances are you probably would do better following somebody who has been there. And instead of somebody tagging you along, maybe you should get into the habit of asking the people who have made it to success, like, can you give me the map? Do you see where I'm going with this? So everybody on the live that has decided to open a business, you should have opened the business based on what you planned to do. Remember, in order for you to leave the legacy, you have to build the legacy. In order to build the legacy, you have to have a set of plans. But instead, what most people, thank you for the rose, what most people do is all of a sudden, when they get the itch to open a business, they go straight to stop number 3. Well, how you got to stop number 3? You took a detour. You took the scenic route. You didn't take the real directions. You went straight to stop number 3. And what you did was you went tell stop number 3 that you're ready to open a business. And at stop number 3, they let you open the business. And then all of a sudden, it hit you. It hit you like a ton of bricks. Damn, I need some money for this business. I need some credit for this business. So again, you take a detour. Instead of taking the right directions, you go straight to step 5. So you went from 1 with the idea, not even the whole planning, you just had an idea. You went straight to 3, now you jump to 5 because you said I need credit. Now that you have credit, somebody then gave you the idea, and you know you can go get a government contract. So now your ears perked up. Oh, I'm going to go get me a government contract. So you went from 3 to 5, and now you're at 7. And somehow you can see way in the distance, success is over there looking at you, telling you from afar, you ain't gonna come here. And in your mind, you're fighting it because you can see it, so you think. And you're asking yourself, well, why is it? Is it because you got there faster than the average person? No. It's because you took shortcuts. It's almost like the Amazing Race. You went from point A to point B and you missed the stop, right? And what you didn't realize is when you went to step 3, you didn't realize that whatever information you gave them at step 3, that was for anybody can find that information. Do you know, like right now, I can find out where almost everybody live at? I can actually pull up your address right now because that's a public database at the Secretary of State. So what happens is, remember, you went to register a business, ABC Lemonade. And as soon as you went to step 5, you told the people at step 5, hey, I need some credit for ABC Lemonade. So the people are saying, hey, let me verify your business address. So in your mind, shit, you ain't get your virtual office. You thought you was cooking with fish grease. So you got your virtual office and you're doing all of the things that you hear on TikTok and in social media, and you go apply for any type of account using your virtual office address. And then all of a sudden the creditor comes back and say you don't qualify. And then all of a sudden you're asking yourself, well, why don't I qualify? I gave you my business name. I gave you my business address. I gave you my cell phone number because my business ain't really had a phone. You can see that the business business is registered. And what the creditors are saying, yes, I can see the business is registered, but everything in the public database don't match what you just gave me. I can't verify if that's a legitimate business or not, or better yet, who the owner. I can't. There's nothing that's matching. So what the creditors are saying is, it's not that you have a bad idea. The information that you're giving me just don't match. Now, I'm gonna ask a third question. I first asked you, if the business was sued, do you want your personal assets to be attacked? Most people said no. If you wanted funding for the business, do you want the funding to be based on your social security number? You said no. Here's another question. You ready? When you registered your business as a LLC, did you think that that business was a legal separate entity? Yes or no? And that's only for this is for the new people. I know my old people, they know the answer to this, but for everybody else, you thought, okay, thank you, Malachi Lounge. Thank you. I appreciate it. Not there yet? Okay. Anybody else? When you get the LLC, did you believe that it was a legal separate entity? Yes or no? We only got Malachi. That said yes. Cool. Not a, oh, we got another one. Tovi, P Coach, Miss Lauren. Thank y'all. I thank y'all for participating. The concierge. Oh, the connoisseur concierge. My eyes are bad way from over here. I don't have one, but to my knowledge, it was. Okay, cool, 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 cool. All right, so let me help you with this, and then we're gonna shift a little bit. Now that we see that that obviously, in order for us to obtain success, there has to be a journey that we take. So, if the goal is for us to register a business that would give us some separation, right? We must first understand from an EIN perspective a few things. Number one, do you need an EIN number? Now, I've shared this morning, but this time I get to share my own screen so that way people can see it. And I love it where I can just share my own screen and people can read for themselves and they don't have to, look at it from my phone. Whenever you go get an EIN number, see, because some states, not all, some states will make you get an EIN number before registering that business as a Secretary of State. Some states you don't have to do that, but some states do. So I'm going to start right here first. For those that don't know, an EIN stands for Employer Identification Number, not employee. Those are two different things. An employer hires employees. That's it. And the IRS says, hey, you are going to need an EIN if you can answer yes to any of the following questions. It's pretty straightforward questions. Now, in case you don't know what an employer identification number is, right? Or who is it was intended for, rather. Employers hire employees. Employees are individuals that whenever they are paid, they have federal taxes, Social Security, and Medicare taxes automatically removed out of their checks. You, as a single member LLC, hear me closely. You cannot be part. You can't be an employee of your single member LLC, right? In addition to that, whenever an employer hires employees, that company must file quarterly payroll taxes on what's called an IRS, well, we'll just call it the 941, the employer's quarterly federal tax. And I'm going to pull this up for you real quick so that way you can see it. This is where you would actually have to tell the Internal Revenue Service how many employees you have, how much money they made, how much federal income taxes are withheld, Social Security and Medicare. Do you see where I'm going with that? That means if you are not filling out an employer's quarterly federal tax return, you don't have any payroll taxes or whatever the case is, the answer to the question, the first question that it says, do you have any employees? The answer to that question would be no. The next question, do you operate your business as a corporation or partnership? Now, I want to be very clear when I say something. If you are a single member LLC, the answer to that question would be no. But somebody says, well, Dewayne, what if it's just me and my partner? Man, let me help you with this. You and your husband, you and your wife, you and your girlfriend, your boyfriend, a good friend, a cousin, a relative, your neighbor. If both names are not listed on the Secretary of State, that's not a partnership. Next question. Do you file any of the following tax returns? Employment, excise, or alcohol, tobacco, and firearms? Most people can answer yes. Do you withhold taxes on income other than wages paid to a non-resident alien? Does your single member LLC offer a retirement plan, a pension plan, or in other words, a KEO plan? Or is your single member LLC involved in a trust, estate, real estate, mortgage, investment, conduit, nonprofit organization? I'm coming, Lauren. Farmers Co-op or plan administrator. I'm coming to that. I want to save that specifically last, right? So if you can't answer yes to any of these questions, then you shouldn't have an EIN. You should be using your social security number. But I get it. I want my business to be separate. So that's why I got an EIN. Do you see the difference? You got an EIN because you thought it was separate, and no, you need an EIN based on these questions. But let's go back to whether or not the LLC is a legal separate entity. So I'm going to go ahead and apply for an EIN right now. Now I want you to understand something. This EIN assistant, right? Because it even says use this assistant to apply for and obtain an EIN number. Do I need one, right? We've already discovered that. But I want you to understand, whatever you select on this screen, and whenever they issue you an EIN based on what you selected on this screen, whenever you use that EIN, they're treating you based on what you selected on this screen. Let me make that make sense. There's a lot of times when people can go open an LLC and then file their taxes as an S corp or file their taxes as a C corp. Understand, whenever you get this number, it don't matter how you file your taxes. That EIN number is based on what you select right here. So, for everyone who has heard, you have to make a certain amount of money to choose S Corp, to choose corporation. If you don't make a certain amount of money, you should stay this. And I need everybody to really unlearn all of that, because that is a false statement. There is absolutely no income requirement at all to select anything on this screen. In fact, the IRS says before applying for this EIN, that means before you come get this number, you should have already determined what type of legal structure, what type of business or type of organization is being established. This is nothing more than a structure. Choose the type that you're applying for. Choose the type. At no point Does it have a dollar amount associated with any of these on the screen? You have to open the business, register the business, get an EIN for the business before you make money. How can there ever be an income requirement? You gotta select something on here first. You ain't made a dollar yet. So whenever you select limited liability company, here is what happens. The IRS is very clear. You have chosen a limited liability company. Here's a sidebar. If you ever watch somebody on social media, if you ever heard somebody talk to somebody and they said, I have me a limited liability corporation, yes, my LLC is a corporation, please run. Don't argue, just run. Because there is nowhere on the IRS's website you're going to see where it says limited liability corporation. It says company. And you know what? While I'm at it, let me go ahead and give y'all a little nugget real quick. This is for everybody who has an LLC. I want you to understand how you start is how you're going to be treated. It don't matter what band-aid you put on it. Now, let me give you some real terminology. You have chosen limited liability company. I don't know where you're from. I don't know how you grew up. I don't know how you was raised. Where I'm from, let me go ahead and share this with you. If I'm at home by myself and I get a phone call from someone that I know and says, hey, do you mind if I come visit you at your house? I say, no, I don't mind. Come on over. And then all of a sudden, as my friend is coming over to my house, my wife calls and says, hey, babe, what are you doing? I said, well, I was at home alone, but I'm about to have company come over. Have y'all ever referenced people visiting your house as company? Yes or no? Via email, yes, and it depends on the case. Yeah, I'm coming, Bosco, yes. So we've all heard of that term when you're having people coming at your house, right? I'm getting, oh, come on, 2RJRC. I'm getting that. So y'all have heard, so this is y'all have heard of that. Hey man, I got company coming over. So typically whenever you say, watch this is gonna be your light bulb moment. Whenever you say you have company coming over, that is literally to identify that there's gonna be more than one person in the area. Is that right? Is that a yes or no? Typically, whenever you say, I have company coming over, that is to signify that it's going to be more than just you. Am I right or am I right? Hmm, I'll be damned. Ain't that something? Now, watch this. I'm going to pull up the dictionary of legal terms and I'm going to pull up the word that says company. I'll be damned. Right here. Company. Sorry for the blurriness. I'm going to read it to you. Company is defined as a group of people organized to perform an activity, business, or industrial enterprise. Do you not see how the seed has already been sown? That this is meant for two or more people. So I am trying to help you understand, even in the name by itself, is telling you what is intended for. So when you are a single member LLC, the rules for this don't apply for one person. I'll be damned. The legal terminology of the word company is a group of people. How can you be a part of a group by yourself? Hmm, I know. Now, this isn't a conspiracy, but watch. So, whenever a limited liability company is formed, it says it's a structure allowed by state statute. Well, hold on. I am on the IRS's website, which is a website based on the United States government. And it says, from a federal tax perspective, I can't even tax this thing that y'all call a limited liability company because it's only allowed at the state level. So wait a minute. What does that really mean? That means that there are no federal taxes for it. Okay. What else does it mean? That means as an LLC is formed, like formed, brought together, like made, not born, formed, not born, formed by filing what's called an articles of organization. Now, again, articles of organization, like how you organize yourself, with the Secretary of State. Uh-oh. But look what the IRS says. This limited liability company, that a company is a group of people organized to perform an activity. Let me show you what is not. LLCs are not incorporated and they don't file in articles of incorporation. Do you see how you form something with an articles of organization? This is saying LLCs are not incorporated. Articles of incorporation. What does it mean to be incorporated? I'll be damned. A business is incorporated, born, when it has been granted a charter. Let's call it a birth certificate. Legally, shoots, recognizing it as a separate entity, having its own privileges, rights, and liabilities distinct from other businesses and persons. So for anybody that's out here telling you that limited liability company is a legal separate entity, how can it be? It's not incorporated. But now if we took this a step further to say, well, Dwayne, what is a corporation? Okay. A company, hold on, is a group of people organized to perform an activity, business, or industrial enterprise. A corporation is a person. Are we there? Hold on. Let me make it a bit more plain for you. Let me just make it a bit more plain. Whenever the Internal Revenue Service, which is an official site of the US federal government, says that whenever you hear us use the term United States person, here's what we're generally talking about. We're talking about a citizen or resident of the United States. We're talking about a domestic partnership. Now, this is going to be a little heavy for some people when I tell you all about this partnership. Or we're talking about a corporation. So, if I, as a person, can be born into the United States and can grow up to be my own man, my own woman, whatever you want to call yourself, and I can go get credit. I can go purchase stuff. I can buy a house. I can buy a car. I can go get a credit card. If I can do those things, if I can be brought to court and be sued, or if I can bring someone else to court and be sued, guess who else can do that? A corporation. So if a corporation can be its own person, well then hell, why I gotta use my social security number? That corporation is its own person. Do you see where I'm going with this? So now when we're talking about putting that business on a journey to become successful, if I would have just taken my name out the hat and I would have birthed that thing with a plan and I went to straight number two, to step two, and I gave that person its own email address, its own address, its own phone number. Then when I went to step three to register that business in a public database, now that public database has all the information based on that person that was birthed into this United States. And then now that I've registered that business, I want everybody and their mama to come do business with me. Well, Dewayne, how is everybody and their mama going to know you exist? Easy. I have to now develop what's called a brand. See, the Secretary of State know my name, but they don't know how to identify me by. I want when people see me, they know that's me. I want when people try to access me, they can access by a brand. They can find me on my website because my website is also going to list my identity. My social media is going to also list my identity. Everything in the internet world is going to have my identity that is also going to be matched, right? The corporation, we're talking about the corporation, not me. I'm sorry, so I can see how that's confusing. I'm talking about the corporation, right? Not me personally. The corporation is a person by itself. So now, when you came up with that idea for the person, for that corporation, you gave that corporation its own identity. The corporation was registered in a public database. Now, when you want people to find that corporation, you go create that corporation its own brand, a website, a logo, social media platform. So now what happens whenever you go to the next phase to say, hey, I need this company to have business credit. Now, the people that you're going to establish business credit can verify that you are a legitimate brand. They can find where you're selling products or services on your website, and everything that you have given them matches what's in a public database, which is the Secretary of State. So now that we've gotten, catch this, now that we have gotten the identity verification out of the way, let's prove that we can afford whatever it is we're going to try to do, by way of making sure that in phase 6 we have some sort of bookkeeping system in place. Because if we have a bookkeeping system in place, that validates that we are keeping up with the money that we're asking you to let us borrow. How you going to ask somebody to borrow money, but you don't even have a way to show them that you're keeping up with the money that you currently have? Do you see where I'm going with that? So then, after you establish your bookkeeping system, when it's time for you to get real business contracts, you go to phase 7 to get the government contracts. You don't have to piggyback off of somebody else's contract. You can go get your own contract. And then when people see that you have a government contract and they want to understand how does the public view you, you can also say, well, at phase 7, I have me a Better Business profile, Better Business Bureau profile that says I have an A+ rating. That A+ rating will also be listed on my website. So now people don't have to wonder about, are they doing business with a legitimate business? Because at the footer of my website, it's going to show I'm registered with the Better Business Bureau. I have an A+ rating. And then here's the kicker. When a bank or anyone else, even the government, when they can see that your business is licensed, bonded, and insured, you are now just solidifying everything that you need to solidify, because they know right then and there you mean business. And you're also going to register your trademark, because they want to make sure that all these things that you have just done to build this thing is protected. And then you're going to set up a trust to protect it all. So each person, each corporation that you have. I don't care if you have 12 businesses. That's like having 12 children. All 12 children need their own identity, their own everything. So every single company you have right now needs every single thing to make sure that it follows the journey to success properly. So now when we look at this particular screen, this screen is going to mean something a little different. What's up, Mr. Dr. Daddy? So what am I saying? I am saying that, so if my operating company is a person, here we go. Here's where the magic starts to happen. If my operating company is a person and that person needs funding, how can I go get funding? Now, I'm going to bring you back to this screen. Remember, right here, phase 6, the importance of having bookkeeping in place. Because the one thing that the bookkeeping allows you to do is to keep up with what? Your profit and loss statement, your cash flow statement, and also what's called your balance sheet. And I'm going to do you one better because y'all going to do it yourself and I'm going to help explain it to you so that way, hold on, I'm coming. What is a balance sheet? Since you're gonna let Dr. Google be your business consultant, let me help you so that way when you're trying to articulate it for yourself. Come on, boy, y'all don't understand. I'm about to help y'all with something. I'm about to change your life. You don't even see it. Like I'm about to literally change your life, and you don't even see it just off of this screen right now. A balance sheet is also known as a statement, of net worth. I'm gonna just pause right there. I'm going to just pause right there. I'm going to read the rest, but hear me. A balance sheet is also known as a statement of how much you are worth. A bank will give you money if they know you're worth something. And here's the crazy thing. Some of you all walk into a bank asking for money and you don't even know your own worth because you're not even keeping up with your own money. Boy, y'all don't hear me? I know this is going to be hard, but it's true for some. You want someone to invest in you, but you don't even know how much you worth because you don't do a good job of keeping up with your money. Let me help you. If you wake up every single day, and I mean every single day, to log on to your bank account application, to check your balance of your account, to make sure that this charge went through and that charge went through, to make sure that you don't have no overdrafts and all that, this ain't called bookkeeping, y'all. This is just checking your phone. Just in case. But anyway, a balance sheet is also known as a statement of net worth. It is a financial statement that summarizes the company's assets, liabilities, and shareholder equity at a specific time. It's one of three main financial statements that companies are required to have. Whoo. It's one of the three main financial statements that companies are required to have by law, along with an income statement and a statement of cash flow. Let's keep going, y'all. Let's keep going. Don't misunderstand this. A balance sheet also provides a snapshot of the company's financial position. I am simply telling you, you will never walk into a bank with a suitcase full of money asking for help. What you're going to bring to the bank is paperwork. But when your paperwork is in order, I'm trying to help you. But it can't guarantee future performance because it uses archived data, right? Investors can use balance sheets to calculate financial ratios, such as the asset test ratios, debt to equity ratio, current ratio, asset turnover, etc., etc. A balance sheet must always balance with assets equal to the liabilities plus the equity. Equity is similar to a company's net worth. So what I am telling you is having your QuickBooks in order, what can put you in a position to never ever ever be told no again, because there is one line item on the balance sheet that a bank will give you money for. You know what that is? Watch. Accounts receivables is the money that a company's customers owe for products or services that have been delivered but not yet paid for. But look, it gets better. On a company's balance sheet, accounts receivables is listed as a current asset and represents the total value of all what? Outstanding invoices. Do you realize that outstanding invoices is also an asset? I'm laughing because this is about to hit you like a ton of bricks. When people owe you money, that's an asset. A bank will allow you to get funding just based on people owe you. So, look, in layman's terms, you think people owe you is a bad thing. No. No. No, 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 no. That's money. And ask yourself this question. If I walked up to you right now and I said, look, I need to borrow $1,000. Dwayne, how you gonna pay me back? Well, I'm gonna go do some sales. I'm gonna hope to get some sales. Ah, which one sounds better? Hope to get sales, or hey, I would like to borrow money. What do you need? Well, how you gonna pay me back? Well, I have a whole bunch of outstanding invoices, money that people owe me. Which one sounds like a sure bet? You gonna get some sales, or you're banking on when these people pay that bill? Which one's which one is a sure bet for the investor? Ask yourself this question. If you was gonna let somebody borrow money, are you gonna let somebody borrow money on their potential to go get money, or somebody who already got the money, they just ain't collected it yet? That's a good one. Charge my course. Yeah, yeah, I got you. That was actually really good. So now that I know a bank will give me money based on how much money people owe me, if all I have to do is let my paperwork follow where I'm going, if all I have to do is show you that people owe me money, follow it. I'm going to say it slow. If all I have to do is show you what went over some of y'all head? I get it. I get it. I get it. Let me see if I can say it a little different. If I have to present to you something that says I got outstanding invoices of $100,000, you would feel inclined to let me borrow 50. You're not gonna give me the whole 100 because you don't know if I'm gonna collect the whole 100. Pay attention. You're not gonna give me the whole 100 because you don't know if I'm gonna collect the whole 100. But you might give me 50, 40. Hell, I can get something from you because I know somebody owe you. Now, typically, when we do stuff like that, what is the one piece of thing that kind of gives that thing some weight? Contract. Because if I have a contract, now that's an obligation. It ain't just somebody randomly owe me money. No, that's an obligation. So if I go back to what the meaning is, accounts receivables is the money that a company's customers owe for the products or services that have been delivered but not yet paid for. In other words, you go rent an apartment or a house and the landlord charges you $1,000 a month in rent. You have to sign a yearly lease agreement, and that lease agreement validates that you owe them that money. Now, although you haven't lived there for a full year, their accounts receivables line shows that you owe them $12,000. So if you wanted to go get a loan, a bank will say, hey, or a financial institution will say, hey, since I know that you have this signed lease agreement that this person owes you, I'm gonna go and give you 6,000. Now, Dwayne, how does that play a part in what you're showing me on the screen? Well, easy. Here we go. That's where I'm going with this. So if you have one company that's structured as a corporation, which is its own person, that has contracts with three other companies, well, wait a minute. How can we make this work for us? Here we go. See, if I asked you to pay you, I'm gonna ask you to send me an invoice. I'm not gonna ask you, do you take Cash App? Because I can't monitor Cash App. In fact, Cash App is a personal application. It's not a business to business transaction. So if I know that you are a legitimate business, follow where I'm going. If I know that you are a legitimate business, you should have the ability to send me an invoice. You should have the ability to have your sale or whatever your product or service is on a particular platform. That will allow your customers to see what they can purchase from you. Again, if I can show you, pay attention, if I can just show you that you can go to a place to make a purchase, to buy something, and pay what a credit debit card over the case is, I've won half the battle of you thinking, am I a legitimate business or not? All I did was just gave you something to see. Uh-oh. I'm not advocating that you don't have a legitimate business. I'm not advocating. I'm telling you that if you are trying to convince somebody, why make your job hard? Don't let your mouth say something. Let the paperwork speak for you. In other words, why do I have to tell you who I am? I've already got all of these things in place. You can go anywhere to see that I have a website. You don't even understand, just having a website, just having a place where people can locate you other than your cell phone will remove people's fear of, are they dealing with a real business or not? Just by having that business have its own everything that's not attached to you, I've won half the battle at that point. So now, whenever you do have a place where people can purchase your services, the question becomes, well, how do you take payment? Cash? Nope. Cash transactions can't be traced back to business transactions. A check? Maybe. But still, that doesn't. How do you want people to know? Having business to business transactions, if I have the ability to pay online, now we cooking with something. So let's make it make sense. I personally, Dwayne, whenever people pay Mac Enterprise, I run all of my credit card transactions through a company called Stripe. Yep, Stripe. It says it right here. Right there. And here's what I'm going to show you. Because I am a firm believer of being honest. See, you work Soul Shine. You see how you worried about fees? No, Soul Shine. Don't you do that. Don't be so I see y'all worrying about the wrong thing. Y'all, the cost of doing business ain't free, y'all. Y'all got to understand. Just wait for a second. Don't get so far down the rabbit hole, y'all. Just hang tight. See, it's that mindset right there. And I'm not picking on y'all, but I just want y'all to hear me. It's that mindset right there. It's the cost of doing business, y'all. Because, okay, let me tell me if you're thinking about fees after I show you this. Number one, if you wanted to go get some money, now, one of my sayings, I've said this before, and I want y'all to feel where I'm going with this. Never take advice from somebody who ain't never been where you are trying to go. So if I'm going to show you this, clearly I've had to go through this. So on May 26th, to prove the point, Stripe gave hold up on them foreigns. Hold on the foreigns. At the very top left, you see where it says Mac Enterprise Incorporated? Remember, that's a person. That is a person. All right. On May 26th, $94,000. Now, some people say 20%. See how it says accepted repayment rate? What that simply means is if somebody paid me $100, they would take 20% of that 100 to pay my loan back. There is no interest rate. It's just a flat fix. It's just a fixed fee. Again, there is no interest rate. It's a fixed fee. If I wanted to have, if I would have taken less, obviously the fixed fee would have been less. Or, and not, no, not or, and had I taken less, I could have chosen an accepted repayment rate of 10%, 3%, 2%. I chose to repay back at 20%. Why? So that way I don't carry this longer than I want to. That'll hit y'all later. Stripe is a credit card processing company. So when someone needs to pay you and they want to pay with their credit or debit card company, I mean the debit or credit card, Stripe is a company that processes the payment for you. It's almost like they work off of an API where you pay the invoice using this particular platform. So anyway, so I'm going to log on there. Now, here's the crazy part. Now, I want y'all to pay attention. Typically, whenever you get a bill from your house or your car note, it's due every 30 days, correct? Yes or no? Every 30 days. When was the last time you got you applied for something and you got something and they gave you 60 days to pay it back? You pay back every 2 months. Anybody got a bill like that? You pay back every 2 months? I'm all right. That rarely happens, if ever. But see, whenever you get a loan through this, what they're basically saying is catch it. Every 60 days, you need to have a minimum of $12,000. And your rate per transaction is at 20%. So every payment that is made, they're going to take 20%. And as long as every 2 months I have this, they don't debit my checking account for a fixed fee. Now, here's the most interesting part about this, y'all. Y'all got to pay attention. If we go right here to read the facts, guess what happens? One of the biggest hurdles that people face when it's time to go get money is their personal credit score. Now, number one, you should never have to rely on your personal credit to go get anybody's money, especially when you have a corporation. But when you do have a corporation and you do apply for funding, here's one of the biggest benefits. Whenever you apply for financing through Stripe Capital, it doesn't require a personal credit check. I know that. Now that seems like, whoa, but it's true. Not one credit check at all. I don't care if you have a 200. Doesn't matter. I don't care if you file bankruptcy. I don't care if you, none of that matters because we're not applying for a Stripe account for you. We're applying for a Stripe account for a corporation, which is his own person. And then, hey man, I need to build business credit. See, go and get you a Quill, a Granger, and a Uline account. That don't do nothing but get you a payback score. What shows that you can afford anything? You see where I'm going with this? But whenever you get funding from Stripe Capital that doesn't require a personal credit check, here's what Stripe will also do. They will report your performance to the Small Business Financial Exchange. Now, imagine, catch this, it typically takes you 90 days, 3 months to get a payback score, 80. And it's going to take you another however long to go ahead and get you to tier 2 and then tier 3, all of that. Follow where I'm going. How quickly you can take your brand new company that you ain't never did nothing with, and in 6 to 9 months, that's less than a year. Most banks will tell you that you got to be open for 2 years before you can come get funding. In less than 1 year, 6 to 9 months, not only can you go get money and never use your social security number, but you can have business credit that's going to walk you into anywhere and get you what you want. Y'all don't even understand the value of this by itself. There is nothing touching this. A grant is free money that don't report a payment history. I am telling you, like, just by showing that you can go get money without having to rely on you and build real business credit that shows a financial line item that says that you are worthy of getting $95,000. So if you wanted to go get a car for $50,000, you've already shown that you already can handle that type of money. And all you did was process payments. So let me show you how this works. Here's your blessing. Since I know accounts receivables, come on, I'm getting there. Since I know the accounts receivables is basically me showing that I have invoices. What if I took $1,000? Pay attention. If I took $1,000 cash money, I could have won it at the slot machine. It don't matter. And I deposited it into my operating company right now, which is its own person. Remember that. That operating company has $1,000 deposit. The bank statement shows cash deposit. 1 week later, after I made that deposit, another company, I ain't gonna say your company, another company, which is the operating company corporate office. It's a totally separate company, totally different EIN, totally seen as a United States person, sends the operating company an invoice. Hey, look, since you using the name that I own, I want to charge you for using my name. How much you want to charge me? $1,000. So now that $1,000 that you won at the casino, you deposited in there, but you again, your bank statement says deposit, but then you use that money to pay a bill. Cha-ching. Now your parent company has $1,000. Again, call it what you want. Mine is the service fees. Cool. Call it what you want. That still doesn't take away. See, again, the deposit, hold on. The invoice was $1,000. Don't misunderstand that. The invoice was 1,000, right? What you are actually deposited after they take their fee, cool. I'm with you on that. But for the sake of the conversation, now your the corporate office, not let me take you out of the way. The corporate office has the $1,000. Another week later, the real estate investment trust sends an invoice to the parent company. Hey, look, since you're located at 123 Happiness Lane, by the way, I own 123 Happiness Lane. What do you mean? Yeah, that address is mine. But it's a virtual address. I'm the one that won't get the virtual address. It's in my name. So now the parent company, that other person, paid an invoice for rent. Now your real estate investment trust has $1,000. Then the holding company sends an invoice to the real estate investment trust saying, look, I'm charging you a holding fee, a management fee. Says, I got to hold your assets. So now that $1,000 deposit that shows on the bank statement of the real estate investment trust also show that it paid a bill to the holding company. And now the holding company has 1,000, but then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, that operating company that you do every week says, look at here, everybody winning, but I'm the one that gave y'all this idea. Let me get my finder's fee. So the holding company pays a bill. You took $1,000 and showed that each company paid $1,000 invoice, but also received $1,000 in deposits. Well, because you're doing business to business transactions, these companies are doing business with one another. That is called accounts receivables. Business to business transactions by way of account receivables, right? If you do that 4 times in 1 month, do you know that you are showing that each company has an accounts receivables line of $48,000? Showing $48,000. All because you were disciplined and consistent. Invoice 4 times a month. So now the credit card processing company, again, it's a computer. It's a computer. It's monitoring the ebbs and flows of your transactions. If it's monitoring your ebbs and flows of transactions for 6 months, and in every single month for 6 months, they are showing that you are getting $4,000 a month in payments, that equates to $48,000 a year, which means they're going to give you a loan. Each company is going to get a loan for $24,000 with no credit check. $24,000 times 4 companies, that's $96,000 in funding. And all you did was got out the way. Let those people do business by themselves. You had no ownership in that at all. You were just the puppet master controlling it all. John D. Rockefeller said, own nothing, control everything. I know they are. I know because you know why? Most people don't even know that this is possible. So it's almost like, of course they might want to try to ban me because you think like this is some sort of scheme, some sort of scam. Where is the scam? Hold on. I've shown you that I got money. I know I am. I know I'm giving too much. But if the IRS, the same very people who issued that EIN says the term United States person is a corporation. What? You know what I'm doing? I'm following their playbook. Yeah. Come on, man. Come on. So if I ask you right now, which balloon you popping, Which balloon you popping? Come on, man. Come on. For a single owner, do you or bro, sis in comments prefer? Oh, you got to send that again, please. It kind of went too fast. C corps. So realistic, you pop all of the ones that you don't want. So you will be popping the sole proprietor. You will be popping the LLC automatic. Popping. Boom. Everybody. T Kim says, I love T Kim's question. So it really doesn't matter how much your business makes to be a corporation. There is no income requirement to be a corporation. None. It doesn't exist. If you ever heard that, that's a lie. There is no income requirement to register your business and to get an EIN of any choice that you want. You see what I'm saying? So again, I thought it was really cool to kind of use this as a look. Cause yo, my wife and my kids, like it's a family thing. Like we really watch Pop the Balloon. It's a really cool show. It really is, right? My second time here, Mac. I understand everything you say. I just know. No. You good? You good? You good? You good? I promise. I promise. I definitely don't want to make you feel offended. Y'all do know a corp is just a form of tax. No, you're talking about the S corp. It's just a tax form, not the C corp. Yes. The S corp. S. But hold on. Now let me see if y'all paid attention. Do you see how I don't even have S corp on here? Because S corp is just a tax election. You can't go to a Secretary of State and open an S corp at all. It doesn't exist. And even when you file, like let's say, because most people will go register their business as an LLC, right? And then fill out a form to be taxed as an S corp. According to the Secretary of State, you're still an LLC. You definitely want a corporation. If you want your business to be separate, absolutely, 100%. Like this is financial. Here's when people say, Dwayne, why do you teach this? Why do you go over this over and over and over again? Because I am trying to show you that you can change your life if you change your mind. Oh, that was good. God damn, I like that one. Oh, I like that one. Oh, I like that one. You can change your life if you change your mind. God damn. That's a shirt. Oh, that's a shirt right there. Oh, that's a shirt. Yes, it's possible to change from a LLC to a corporation. Yo, repeat after me. I can change my life when I change my mind. Oh, come on. I can change my life when I change my mind. How we pay it back with only a few customers? Ah, okay. Great question. Yes, I have been in a different class, Michelle. The question was, how do you pay it back? How do you pay it back? Great question. Let me pull up this to show you. Let me pull up this to show you. You ready? Pull up a calculator for you. let's just say that you get $100,000. You know what? For the sake of, yeah, let's say that, right? Whenever you borrow money from any financial institution, this is where you ever hear the term use other people's money. Here's where that comes from. Whenever you have $100,000 given to you, you know what? Let's say for the small, let's go here. Let's say that you were given a loan for $50,000, whether you have customers or you don't. In your mind, don't ever think that you have $50,000 to spend. No, you're going to take that $50,000 and you're going to divide that by two, right? So that's $25,000. When you look at that, you're going to use that $25,000 to pay the bill every month. When you do that, typically that gives you 18 to 24 months of on-time payments. So what happens is if I take 25,000 and I divide it by 24, as long as my payment is $1,000 or less, that gives me 2 years of paying it back. So in other words, I borrowed 50, I used half of the money that they gave me to pay them back. I used their own money to pay them back for 2 years. In now the other 25, I reinvest in my business, marketing, or just different strategies, and I try to increase my customers at that point. So that way, what I'm doing is I'm giving myself a 2 year timeline. In 2 years, I should be able to get enough customers. But here's what happens though. Here's what happens. What happens if, for whatever reason, business was slow? You wasn't able to do it in 2 years. You need more money. You ran out. You go back to get more. Well, why would they give me more if I still owe them? Because you just paid them back 2 years on time. You never missed a payment. What they gonna tell you? Think about it for a second. If I came borrow $100 from you and I paid you back every time, you ain't never had to ask. Are you gonna tell me no? You gonna like at what point? No, because you know what you're doing. The more that you come back, they put their little fee on top of it. So for all they doing is they just collecting money. They letting you hold it. Hmm. Because you are. Guess what? You are on their accounts receivables line. You owe them. That's money all the time. Do you see? You're on their accounts receivables line. So you still owe them money. That's income. They can go leverage your what you owe them to go do something else. This is how money works. Can any type of business work under these strategies? No, because guess what? Great question. I knew it was gonna come. Can any other type of business work under these strategies? In theory, yes. But what is the second problem people always have? Taxes. Mm, mm. So I'm going to start out with if you are a sole proprietor, partnership, or limited liability company, here's what happens. Great question. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Taxes. Everybody hate them. You hate them so much, you show your business is losing every year. You take a loss every year because you hate taxes so much because you don't know how to get around it. But let me show you what happens. I'm coming to that, Danielle. Oh, I'm gonna say that for that one. The IRS get you every month. Why? The IRS don't charge every month unless you owe them and you're on a payment plan. No, don't put a nonprofit on that. Mm-mm, 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 mm-mm. All right. Didn't you show that corporations are basically exempt from all taxes and can donate to charities? I did, but hold on. Let me back y'all up. Whenever you, this is going to be good. Whenever you file your taxes, you remember when I said right here, the term United States person means a citizen or a resident, a partnership or a corporation? Watch this partnership. If you're married, you would put your first name and last name, and then your spouse, first name and last name. Y'all are filing a joint return. Do you know when you file a joint return, you're still seen as a individual? Ain't that something? When two people get married, they become one. Ah, I bet you didn't even connect that dot, did you? Ha, I'll be damned. The dots that we connecting. Yes. And so listen, so you're gonna put in your dependents if y'all have kids. But then you're gonna talk about your income. Let me be clear. Let me be clear. We're come on, Detroit. Detroit. We are talking about your individual income tax return. So when the IRS says, did you make any other money outside of your 9 to 5? You say yes. The IRS says, well, tell me about the extra money right here on line 8. It says it. Look, line 8. Tell me about the extra money you made outside of your 9 to 5. So you say, okay, cool. Well, here you go. Let me explain it. So you pull up the schedule 1, cool. It says, hey, any additional income. So any taxable refunds, any alimony, pay attention. This is going to hit somebody like a ton of bricks. Any business income attached to Schedule C or any rental real estate income, royalties, partnerships, S corporations. Damn. Well, let's talk about that Schedule C for a second. Click Schedule C. Now, here it is this whole time. Everybody telling you your LLC is a separate entity. But yet, whenever you pull up the Schedule C, it says profit or loss from the business, sole proprietorship. Oh, wait a minute. How are we talking about a sole proprietorship if I'm an LLC? You remember? This is gonna be good, y'all. I can't wait to show y'all. Like I'm slowly building y'all up to see. You remember when I told y'all the definition of limited liability company using this? And you remember when I opened it up and I said, do you see the definition of the word company? And then I read the definition. It says a group of people organized to perform an activity. Well, if you are not part of a group of people, because company is a group of people, if you are not part of a group of people, you're by yourself. Soul is one. Ain't that something? All roads lead back to you thinking that you are operating something that was meant for two or more by yourself, that y'all follow the same rules. No, don't work like that. Mm-mm. So then when you tell the IRS about your business income, whatever you're left with, if you made $1,000 in income, but you had $500 in expenses, you had a net profit of $500. Or if you lost money, it would be a loss. But either way, each dollar amount, whatever that dollar amount it is, it has to be placed back on the Schedule 1, because remember, we're supposed to be telling the IRS about any other money that we made. So then we put it right here. So whether you got S Corp income, partnership income, sole proprietorship income, you're going to place that right there. And then here's what it says on line 10. Take all of the extra money that you made and place that on line number 8 of your 1040. Remember, your 1040 is your individual income tax return. So whenever you place all that extra money that you made right here, look what happens. The IRS says, add up all the income that you made. This is your total income. Ask yourself the question, how can you be separated from something that you just claimed as your income? Huh? The things that make you go, no. Build wealth digital marketing. Think about that for a second. Just again, you don't even have to graduate high school for this one. How can you separate yourself from something that you just took financial responsibility for? That would be a hard sell. You see what I'm saying? So when you walk into a traditional financial institution and you ask the bank, hold on, here's where I'm going with this. Here's where I'm going with this. When you ask the bank, because the bank is going to say, well, show me your IRS paperwork with your EIN. Prove to me that that EIN belong to the business. So you give them your LLC. When I first started my business in 2017, I did what everybody else do. Go get an LLC. So it had my company name plus my name on it. So when the bank says, sir, can you please give me your business's documents? We give them documents with the business and my name on it. When the bank says, sir or ma'am, I need you to be able to give me the business financials, you gave them your U.S. individual income tax return. So when they say, you know how we always say they, who the hell is they? When they say, I need you to personally guarantee it, how can you argue no? Everything you give them got your name on it. But look at what happens right here. See, when the IRS told you right here, the term United States person is a citizen or a resident or a corporation, here's what happens. You are issued another EIN that doesn't have your name on it. So if my name is not associated with the EIN, because remember, the financial institution, they didn't walk with you on the IRS website to see who you listed as the responsible party. Nope. All they ask you for is what? Paperwork. The paperwork that you gave them doesn't have your name on it. So when you are trying to go get funding for that, how can they have you tied to something that they can't prove that you're tied to? So now, when I start the paper trail of the consulting firm being its own person without having my name associated to it, when I walk into the journey to success, I can see if I give that own person its own email, own phone number, own address, then the Secretary of State and the EIN paperwork ain't got me listed as an owner. Let me explain. Let me share something with y'all. Let me share something with y'all. Because I think this is important. I had somebody that literally got on my TikTok, y'all. He called me a scam. Y'all know that got under my skin. It did. I ain't gonna lie. It did. It got under my skin. Because he started talking about, my name. He said, well, I had to put my name On the, Danielle, I swear on my life, Danielle, I swear on my life, I was in the car with my wife. And I said, babe, one of my clients gave me the best acronym for scam. And I swear on my life, I tried to remember it. But I tell you what, I ain't going to forget today. Hold on. Hold on. Don't you go no. I'm going to take a whole screenshot. Scam. Still confused about money. That's exactly what I wanted right there. I couldn't remember to save my life. Hold on. Still confused. I'm taking a screenshot of it. Still confused about money. Come through. I needed that in my life. Thank you. So anyway, so now that that person said, well, Dwayne, when you go get the EIN, it asks you for a social security number. Now, first of all, my response was, why are you going to get the EIN? You see what happens when you take shortcuts and don't pay people who know what they're doing? You mess up. And then you're going to come back to me to help ask you to fix it, ask for my help to fix it. And then the price that I'm going to charge you to fix it, you're going to be like, well, that's too much. It'd have been cheaper if you'd let me do it the first time. But let me explain it. Whenever you go get an EIN number, I need y'all to pay attention. Ooh, this is going to be good. At no point, ooh, this is going to be good, y'all. Whew, I don't know. I'm getting chills just thinking about it. At no point will you ever find on the Secretary of State's website or when you're going to get this EIN that it asks you who is the owner. A shareholder, also known as a stockholder, is a person. Can I stop right there, y'all? A person or company. Y'all, when I tell y'all they don't teach this like for real in school. Because I'm connecting dots for y'all that I'm hoping that y'all seeing. A shareholder, also known as a stockholder, is a person, a company, or institution that owns at least one share of a company's stock or a mutual fund. Shareholders have rights and obligations according to the company's directions, including the right to share in its profits, vote in corporate elections, and affect management. The very fact that it says affect management, that lets you know that they're not directly involved in the day to day. However, they affect management. Oh my word, y'all. Oh my word. I know I'm breaking this down a little bit more than I need. Hold on. The number and value of shares a shareholder owns determines their total ownership in the company, which affects their decision making. Oh, I'm coming. Oh, I'm coming. Residual ripple. I'm coming. So, whenever you go get an EIN number for a corporation, be qualified, not limited. I'm trying to tell y'all. I'm going to show y'all. It tells you right here. A corporation is a person. A corporation is not a sole proprietor, right? But then, when people get right here, well, Dwayne, I'm going on there to I'm going to start a new business. Boom, 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 boom. And look what it asks me. It asks for now we don't read, right? We don't read. It asks me my first name, last name, but it asks me for my social. You don't even see nothing else on the page. You don't see nothing else on this page. But let me scroll up. Please tell us about the responsible party. Responsible party and owner are two different words. Responsible party and shareholder are two different words. Hold on. First of all, I am the president, the CEO, or a other corporate officer. What's a corporate officer? Let's go. A corporate officer, the corporation's president, vice president, chair, treasurer, chief accounting officer, etc., is duly authorized by the corporation to bind it, which means to sign a contract that obligates the corporation to another party in accordance with applicable state law. Can somebody please tell me where this sentence says owner? I'll wait. But then it also says, I am a third party applying for an EIN on behalf. Ay, ay, ay. You see, when you try to do everything yourself and you don't pay people to do what needs to happen, do you see what happens? You find yourself getting into mental qualms with yourself. You find yourself acting out of emotions. You find yourself going on TikTok, calling somebody who educating you on this a whole scam. All because you tried to do it yourself and you did not even read. It clearly says, are you the president, CEO, or better yet, did you have a third party apply for you on your behalf? You see my point? Most times I have to fix people's F ups because why? They choose to be cheap versus efficient. Anyway, I digress. So now that I've shown you all some different terminologies, now let me go ahead and make this make sense. It clearly says a shareholder can be a person or a company. So here we go. If my parent company is the majority shareholder of my operating company, follow the paper trail. And then my real estate investment trust. How many people right now? Do me a favor. How many people right now in this live are involved in real estate and you've purchased real estate under an LLC? If that's you, type me real quick. Today is going to be one of the best days of your life. Because I'm going to give you a one up on your competition. Do you want a one up on your competition? If you want to one up all three people on your competition, just say yes. Okay, watch this. Everybody in their mama will tell you, man, go get shit. I'm gonna show you about doing this real estate investment and show you how to flip this, flip that, boop, 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 boop. And by the way, make sure you go get you an LLC. I got all my properties listed in multiple LLCs, as if that's doing something. See, first of all, let me lay the groundwork real quick for you. Let me go ahead and lay the groundwork. Let me lay the foundation for this. All these real estate gurus that's telling you to go open all of this in an LLC. You see? Go back, go back, go back, go back, go back. Let me go right here. Let me show you what they're not telling you. Number one, I'm gonna go back, and I don't care what somebody told you. If you open an LLC and them people gave you an EIN number and you took that EIN number to put it on a application, no, you came in late. You came in late. You came in late. Came in late. Here's what they're not telling you. No matter what they try to sell you. It. LLCs are not incorporated. And to be incorporated, a business is incorporated when it has been granted a charter legally recognizing it as a separate entity. So for all of those people that told you to go buy LLC, go buy a property in an LLC name, they didn't know what the hell they was talking about. Because it ain't a separate entity legally. However, if you want to really know how to really push yourself in the direction of financial freedom, you understand this right here. See, wealthy people, they love states like Wyoming. See, because Wyoming does not have an individual income tax, nor does Wyoming have a corporate income tax. Here we go. I'm going to say it again. A shareholder is a person or a company that owns at least one share of the company's stock. Hold on. Just pay attention where I'm going with this. So if the state of Wyoming does not have a individual income tax or a corporate income tax, well, Dwayne, if you're telling me don't purchase real estate underneath an LLC, well, what should I purchase real estate under? Well, I'm glad you asked. A real estate investment trust, since you say that you're doing investing, right? A real estate investment trust is a company that owns or operates income producing properties across a range of real estate. Okay. What does that have to do with me? Well, what are REITs required to pay out? I'm glad you asked. A real estate investment trust must pay out 90% of its taxable income to the shareholders. Stop, pause, roll on. This means investors can receive exposure to real estate market without directly owning the property. Pause. Just pause. So if a real estate investment trust must take 90% of all of its taxable income and pay it back to the shareholder, well, if your shareholder was a holding company, not another trust, if your shareholder was a holding company that sits in a state that does not have corporate taxes, make it make sense. What? Huh? Right. Mm-hmm. LLC for what? For what? Asset protection? I'm already protected. You know why I'm protected? Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Because the term United States person is what? A corporation. Well, Dwayne, you said a real estate investment trust. A real estate investment trust, is it a corporation? Well, let's go see. When you select corporation, bam, let's see what options it gives you. It says corporation. It says real estate investment trust. Well, let's click it and see what it says. A real estate investment trust is an investment vehicle established for the benefit of a group of real estate investors. A real estate investment trust is an unincorporated trust, or association managed by one or more trustees who hold title to the assets of the trust and control its acquisitions and investments. Real estate investment trusts commonly include office buildings, apartments, buildings, shopping centers, etc., etc. Do you see the point that I'm making? See, we're talking about two different things, Pablo. Most people confuse a irrevocable trust and a revocable trust with this real estate investment trust. That's two totally different things. Two totally separate things. See why it says trust right here? All types of trust. See, because the real estate investment trust is supposed to be a vehicle for other people to invest in or other companies to invest in. How did I get to the read part? Just select corporations. Hit continue. And it's right there. Damn, G. Which part? I've been talking so much, G. You talking about the real estate investment trust? Oh, you got it. Okay, cool. You got it. All right, got it. I'm like, damn, Jay, I've got it. I'm getting his masterclass ASAP. I like his setup better than anyone's. Hey, I tell you what, there are a lot of people that are doing some great things online. My job is to just show people how to have true financial freedom. If anybody is on here, now I'm going to say this again. Let me say this again. If anybody, and I don't care who it is, if anybody is telling you that you must have perfect personal credit to reach business funding, it's a lie. If people on here are teaching you about personal credit, let it be for just your person. There's a gentleman on here. His name is I Am King of Credit. By far, and I'm going to say this again, by far, the only person that I have seen break down how to get your personal credit intact the proper way. That's the by far. But I am telling you, getting business funding, I've just shown you how you can go get funding and never use your, his name is I Am King of Credit. Never have to use your social security number. So if I am telling you that you don't ever have to use your social security number to go get corporate funding, I just showed you so you can see it for yourself. You didn't hear it from nobody else. You read it. How do you go about double taxation? All right. Let me try to see if I can explain this in a way. Here we go. Number one. Let's talk about double taxation from a different perspective. Forget the tax part. I'm going to ask everybody a question. Do you want a business to be separated from you? Yes or no? And here's where I said we're going to use logic yet again. This pen represents a person. This other pen represents you. If there are two separate people pay taxes if they make money. Do you understand what I'm saying? What most people are failing to address with you is if you get money, you pay taxes. If your separate business makes money, it pays taxes. That's double taxation. You cannot have it both ways. If you want your business to be separate, it has to pay taxes. If you don't want the business to pay taxes and you want to assume responsibility for the taxes and you got two people but only one tax, well, you have to be responsible for everything that happens. But since double taxation is a part of conversation, let's go ahead and break it down. I gave you the analogy so that way you can understand where I'm going. Yes, I can. Let me just talk about the double taxation since it was asked, because I know that's a part. You do not ever have to personally guarantee the corporate loan that I'm showing people how to get. Ever. There is no personal guarantor because you open a corporate account. Let me explain. So since you know what, let me say this. We all file our personal taxes on a Form 1040, which is the U.S. individual income tax return. All right, cool. And I have to go here in 30 minutes, so I'm going to make it quick. Whenever you file personal taxes, you fall in a tax bracket. I'm coming. The tax bracket is 10. It starts at 10%, and it ends at 37%. Right? It starts at 10, ends at 37. Well, whenever the corporation makes a profit, the corporation, since it's a separate entity, has to pay taxes. But when the corporation decides to pay its shareholders, the shareholders would get what's called a dividend. If the shareholder receives a dividend, the shareholder has to pay tax. That's double taxation. Company made it, then the shareholder. Well, if the federal tax bracket for regular individuals starts at 10% and ends at 37%, then dividends have their own tax bracket, especially qualified dividends. Whenever you have a qualified dividend, when you qualified and not limited, whenever you have a qualified dividend, the tax rate on qualified dividends is 0, 15, and 20. Wait a minute. The tax rate for regular individuals is 10%, 12%, 22, go all the way to 37. But a qualified dividend stops at 20, but it starts at 0. So if you are single, you can get a dividend of up to $47,000 and don't pay any tax. If you are married, you can get $94,000. If you are the head of household, you can get $63,000 and pay 0 in taxes. Huh. So come on, Too Smooth. You see how, watch this. Now, Too Smooth, I'm not picking. I swear I mean this with love. Do you see how the natural order of our thoughts go down when we don't understand? And again, I'm not picking. He says, but then the corp can't write off the dividend. No, we don't want to write off anything because let me tell you why. We don't write off. No, sir. See, the definition of write off, wait a minute, is to dismiss someone or something as insignificant. No, 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 no. To cancel the record of a bad debt, to acknowledge the loss of or failure to recover that. See, we don't do that. What we do is we reduce our tax liability, how much we owe. So no. In other words, here's what happens. Like most people, and this isn't just Too Smooth, this is everybody on this thing. We have been for years, and I want to explain this because I want you to see my face. We have been for years, and I mean years, conditioned mentally and subconsciously to believe that every single time we receive a paycheck, somebody has to take taxes. We do it as an LLC, we do it as an employee and all of that. But do you know when corporations file their taxes? Here's the logic. When you as an employee receive the check, taxes are taken out. Uncle Sam, how they call it, take their money first, and you have to live off of what's left. Corporations, however, oh man, no, this is going to be good. Corporations make money, pay all of their bills first, and then pay taxes on what's left. That's why, hold on. It says it right here. because I want you to read it slow. It says the profit of a corporation is taxed. Don't I have to pay bills first before I can determine if I have profit? Oh, suck nah. And then guess what else happens? Because people don't understand the internal revenue. Look what they says. However, there is a limit on how much a corporation can earn and it can be saved, meaning that the corporation can save money, y'all, and invest it back in the business. In general, a C corporation is not taxed. Oh my God. A C corporation is not taxed on money that it saves to reinvest in the company up to $250,000. The Internal Revenue Service allows a C corporation to retain up to $250,000 in profits each year without incurring any tax. See, what you saw was a whole bunch of boxes. You know what wealthy people see? Operating 250, parent 250, real estate investment trust 250, holding 250. That's $1 million. Wait, did I read that right? Hold on. The Internal Revenue Service allows a C corporation to retain up to 250 each year. That's per company. Wait a minute. What? I'll tell you what. Here, I got one even better for you. I got one even better because this question came in. Wait. Because I don't want to create anybody in to be tax gurus. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Salary. We're not even talking about salary. Wait, y'all going too far. Let me just slow y'all down a little bit. Since y'all hate giving back to charity. In most cases, the amount of charitable cash, a taxpayer can deduct on the Schedule 8. So does the taxes start until Coach Keith? So taxes don't start until I get saved to, in theory, we have to make sure we set it up right. So the amount of charitable cash contributions a taxpayer can deduct is generally a percentage of 60%. But however, qualified, didn't I just talk about qualified dividends over here? I just talked about qualified dividends, right? I said qualified dividend tax rate start at 0. I said that. But then it says qualified contributions. God damn. Qualified contributions are not subject to that 60% limitation. So, Dwayne, what does that mean? According to the Internal Revenue Service, individuals can deduct qualified contributions of up to 100% of their adjusted gross income. So that means you can take all your money and donate it to charity, but make sure it's a qualified contribution. So a qualified contribution has to be made to a qualified organization. Now they say reading is fundamental, so let me see who can read. A qualified organization, uh huh, is a community chest, a corporation, a trust, a fund, or a foundation. Now, is it me or LLC not listed on there? Huh? Oh, y'all gonna learn one day. Y'all gonna learn. Everybody telling y'all to go get the same thing that leads you nowhere, but a trust sure is. And now let's talk about that good old S corp. Since I saw that came up too. What about the S corp, Dwayne? Well, what about the S corp? Well, let's pull it up. S corp. Wait a minute. Remember, now to qualify for this statement, I mean, to understand this statement, you have to understand I'm coming to you from a perspective of you cannot, under any circumstances, be separated from anything that you take financial responsibility for. So, therefore, shareholders of an S corporation report the flow through of income and losses on their where? Personal tax returns. How is it that you are going to be separated from something that you just put on your personal tax return? Whew. You know, y'all, here's my thing. Don't be mad that they didn't teach you this in school. Think about it. If everybody went to sleep tonight and everybody woke up a CEO, a boss, who would be the employee? So you see, the world isn't designed for everybody to get this. This is why everybody don't get this. See, now I'm gonna touch on somebody's street in just a second, and I know that when I walk down your street, you're gonna probably be pissed off because you always bring your emotions to a business conversation. But for all of the people in the back that has family that are very religious, and you know, every time things go bad, we always say, give it to God, and you know, go to church and all of that. But it's amazing how, follow where I'm going, because don't misunderstand what I'm saying. We always tell broke people to pray their way through, but we never teach them how to wealth their way through. We never ever tell people how to create financial freedom. We always say pray to be financially free. Faith without works is dead. Don't misunderstand what I am saying, and do not misunderstand that I am talking negatively about the church, but I am talking about the communities that their mindset can never see past the prayer. I am simply telling you that every single morning when you wake up, you have been given the opportunity to be better. Your prayers have been answered because you got an opportunity to see another day, to put yourself on the track to be financially free. Whenever you bring a problem to somebody and they always tell you to pray your way through versus wealth your way through, the challenge is they don't understand what financial freedom really is. The problem is, you blame everybody else. It's the white man's fault. It's the community fault. It's the president's fault. It is everybody's fault. When are you going to look in the mirror and take accountability for always thinking that in order for you to solve a problem, you got to get on your knees and pray your way out, as if you don't have to work your way out of the problem? The challenge is simply not the world around you. It is the fact that you literally sit in your house every single day, right down, and you would tell your kids to follow what I do, and they watch you be inconsistent. They watch you not put forth the effort in that business. They watch you treat your business like a 9 to 5. You were given the ability to see another day when somebody just died yesterday. You were given the ability to push your family through this particular situation, but you gave your family excuses. So when you say nobody is supporting you, ask yourself, how can you support something that is not consistent with the very dream that they're trying to sell you on? The problem isn't the Internal Revenue Service, because who died and told you the Internal Revenue Service was the boogeyman? Was it the person who kept hiding their money from the Internal Revenue Service? Well, don't you know, when you hide your money from the Internal Revenue Service, you also hide your money from the people who need to validate that you made the money. The problem isn't the LLC. It's the problem that you take limited minds and you try to get them to understand. You got so many people still walking around calling themselves a small business. Well, if you go ask yourself what the definition of small is, it says it right here. The definition of small is of a size less than normal, insignificant, or unimportant. But if somebody walked up to you in your face right now and called you insignificant, you would feel offended. But how the hell are you gonna be offended by somebody calling you by what you would identify as? Don't get mad at them. You are literally showing them every single day that your mindset can't comprehend anything outside of TikTok. Your mind can't handle anything else outside of Netflix. I guarantee you, if I told somebody something that was happening on the Real Housewives of this or the Real Housewives of that, you would tell me. You spend more money on Netflix and Prime TV, DoorDash, Instagram, all these different things, but how much money have you invested into your business? And then you have the audacity to come on somebody else's platform and say, how can I get it for free? When was the last time you ever walked into a store and saw success on sale for free? How much did it, like, think about that for a second. How can you say that you have this big vision for your family, but you can't afford it, but you can afford everything else? Make it make sense to me. In broke-minded communities, there are three type of people: broke people, middle-class people, and the wealthy. The broke person, every time that they get money, they go try to pay off all of their goddamn credit, thinking that it's the credit score is going to get them. I just showed you how you can go get funded without the credit score. Middle class people, they go buy every single thing that they can't afford, all to try to impress people that talk about them behind their back any goddamn way. Wealthy people are continually investing in their business, finding the money, not making excuses, but all we do is, can I get it on sale? Can I get a discount? When was the last time you asked your landlord, can you get a goddamn discount? When was the last time that you asked, the light company, can they give you a break? I'm not saying that you don't have a financial problem. I'm not saying that. But I am simply telling you, stop asking people to believe more in a dream that you don't believe in. Stop asking people to sacrifice their hard-earned money, their hard-earned time for you to do something that you don't want to take the $5 that you don't want to spend because you holding on to it because you got to go buy a popsicle, and you're not understanding that. Take that $5, set it aside and say, at least let me come to the table with something. But you want to send somebody a message. Can you help me? Help you do what? Continue to keep making the goddamn excuses that you've been making? No, you don't want help. You want somebody to give you a hand out. Well, guess what? The store is closed. If you do not want to change your life, go find somebody else who's going to listen to the sad story, because guess what? Wealthy people don't make excuses. I'm not saying you don't have a financial issue. I am saying, at what point do you keep using the financial issue as an excuse? There are people right now that have been homeless and have found their way out. There have been, man, let me tell you something. I literally took my last dollar to invest in my business. I damn near didn't have a place to stay when I invested into my. Y'all have no idea. I have been through a number of things. I can almost guarantee you what you are going through, I have experienced 15 times over. That is not to make my situation worse than yours. What I am saying is, I had to make it up in my mind that today is the day that I stop allowing outside things to stop what's going on in the inside. Because what happens is, it started on the inside. I started to believe I could. When I started to believe I could, I did. When I did, I accomplished. When I accomplished, I did what? Kept doing it all over again. Whenever you see people that saying, hey, can you help me? Here's my help. Let me give you the directions on how I got here. If you want it bad enough, you're going to follow the road and come meet me. That's all I got. Let me give you the link to my website. Take the masterclass, purchase the legacy builder, all that good stuff. Do yourself a favor. Change your life today. Ain't nobody come and save you. Create your own destiny. And I guarantee, if you do your part, you will be surprised that there are people waiting on this side of the world, waiting to see, are you going to at least follow those directions? Because I can tell you right now, I am more inclined to help you when I see that you've at least tried yourself. You meet me halfway, and I guarantee you, I'll never leave you over there by yourself. Just meet me halfway. That's all I'm asking. Just meet me halfway. If I tell you go take a class, just take the class. Well, Dewayne, everybody's selling a class. You see, you've already talked yourself out the blessing. You've already talked yourself out the blessing. Well, what all comes with the class? You see, You're finding every single reason not to do what somebody who has been where you're trying to go is telling you to do. You know, I have a class that every other Tuesday, twice a month. It costs $20 a month. $20 a month. It's $20 a month for a class. The master class, it was $6.99. I brought it to $4.99. Writing a business plan. But here's what I told people, and I'm gonna just say this and I'm going. Because I don't want nobody to think that I'm ending this with trying to sell you something. I'm just telling you what it is. I can open up all of these companies for you. Hold on. Hold on. Because I want you to see it for yourself. I don't want you to think that I'm lying. And you can unfollow if you feel like I'm trying to sell you something. The idea is I'm telling you, if you want to change your situation, let me show you. I'm just telling you right now. Hold on. Come on, computer. I gotta go. I got an important call. For $27.99, if you want me to set up all of these companies, your operating company, opening up your operating company, your parent company, your real estate investment trust, your holding company, your nonprofit, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give you my masterclass for free. I'm gonna write you a business plan for free. I'm gonna give you a year access to 2 trainings every month. We got one starting tomorrow, free. I'm gonna give you a commercial lease so that way you can take advantage in Wyoming, so that way you can take advantage of the no tax. If you get this package with a nonprofit, I'm actually gonna also do your 501c3 application for free. $27.99. Well, Dwayne, I don't want the nonprofit. Cool. For $22.99, you gonna buy this. I'm gonna set it all up for you. I'm gonna still give you the master class for free. I'm gonna still write you a business plan for free. Still give you access to the training for free, and also get you a commercial lease for free. $13,000 of value I'm giving you for $22.99. There it is. Barry Perkerson. He took me up on my offer. He got 3 months to go. Watch. I can't wait till he hit that 3 months. I can't wait to see what he has to say, because I guarantee you, follow the train. Trust me when I tell you. And Darren not playing with no pennies. Darren got money. Darren been doing this a long time. Darren got a hold to this information. Darren didn't even think twice. Darren said, Dwayne, I seen it. I saw it. I gotta have it. Well, no, how Keith Lee? I got it. Let's saw it. Let's try it. Rated on 1 to 10. I like Keith Lee. Anyway, so if y'all ready to do this thing, let's do this thing and let's do it the right way. But you said, I just paid my rent, need funding so I can get this course. I understand. I understand. I understand. So listen, y'all. If y'all ever get an opportunity, y'all know. Listen, I really like this little balloon thing, y'all. I keep going back to it. Which balloon you popping? Thank you, Derry. I appreciate it. Thank you. Check it out. Check it out. It can change your life. I appreciate it. Sometimes I get all passionate. So what you saw was passion. I'm not going to apologize for the passion. I just really want people to understand excuses will get you nowhere. Go to my website. If you go to my website, the link is in the bio. The link is in the bio. The link is in the bio. You will see where it says go to services. You just check out the website. I promise you. Thank you, Detroit. Listen, I appreciate everybody. What if you only have pennies to start? Which package to start with? I would start with if you literally I would start with the I say this. Now I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this and I mean this with love. The cheapest thing on my website is a free business assessment. Anybody can go on my website and take a free business assessment. It takes you 3 minutes. I ask you a bunch of questions and then I give you a report back on what we find. You can also get a free business plan. If you have a little bit more than free, you can take our monthly membership. It costs $20 a month. If you want to take the master class, it's $6.99. But for today, I actually did it. I have it on sale for $499. Right now, if you go to my website on the master class that teaches you a lot of this stuff, it'll say $6.99. But if you click enroll, the price I've dropped it to $4.99. The best value on my website today If you click under services and you click this, that is the best value that I have on my website, $27.99. And I'm giving you all that other stuff for free. You made a 69 on the exactly. The goal is to get 100. Now, here's the one thing you said we sub in plus. Here's the crazy part. If you have an LLC and you haven't converted to a corporation, that 69 is going to drop a little bit. And thank you, Danielle. I actually dropped this. The regular price of this was literally over $3,000. It was $35.99, $34.99. It was well over that. And nobody got none of this stuff for free. I've just been doing this for 2 weeks. You've been in business 4 years? Hey guys, something happened to me today. There's a guy by the name of Jordan, and I want y'all to go check this out, right? If go to my you can go to my YouTube, but on my TikTok page right now. I want y'all to go read. I want y'all to go listen to. You know what? I'm gonna do it. How much time I got left? Check this out. Check this out. I want to play it for y'all. He sent this to me, and I was just extremely happy. Watch this. He's been in business for 20 years.
How you doing? My name's Jordan, and I'd like to speak on my experience with Mac Enterprises and Mr. Dewayne Williams. So a while back now, I came across Mr. Williams' TikTok live, and within 2 minutes of listening to this man, I knew I needed to write some stuff down. So I went and grabbed a pen and a notebook, and I started to take copious notes. And within 45 minutes, I learned more than 20 years of business. It was very enlightening and eye-opening. He discussed the etymology of the words used and the verbiage used when creating corporations, and why corporations are created the way they are, and why LLCs may not be the best thing for you, depending on your situation. He also went into the legacy building structure about holding companies, parent companies, trusts, nonprofits, etc. So I instantly booked a call with Mr. Williams to discuss my situation. And my situation was I had a couple LLCs, and I had been operating as a nonprofit for the last 3 years or so. The IRS would not grant me my nonprofit status after going back and forth with them for 3 years. Mr. Williams knew exactly what needed to be done and converted my LLCs to corporations, and within 1 month I had nonprofit status. Not only did I get nonprofit status, I had an LLC that was actually in termination because I thought I had to terminate it because the IRS said it wouldn't be viable as a nonprofit. So he actually talked to the state of California and got my LLC converted to a C corp before it was terminated, which let me keep the age of the corporation. I signed up for the mentorship program just recently, and Mr. Dewayne Williams and I discussed what we need to do moving forward with my business and what would be best for my future businesses, including converting some of my other LLCs to corporations and establishing a real estate investment trust, or REIT, for my alternative building company.
Yes.
And I just want to say thank you to Mac Enterprises, everybody there, Mr. Williams. I mean, I truly, truly appreciate everything you've done for me. You've gone above and beyond, and I can't, express my gratitude enough.
Man, Jordan called me. His name is Jordan. He lives in California. Him and his wife. Yes, him and his wife. I swear on everything I love. Him and his wife. When he told me the story that they had been trying to get nonprofit status for 3 years, he was like, "Man, I'm not." He said, "You sure you can handle it?" I said, "Yeah, I can take care of it." Um, he said, "Are you sure?" I said, "Man, I'm telling you, I can handle it. Send it to me." And dealing with the state of California was a little tough in the beginning, but sure enough, he called me. He was like, "Dude, like, it worked." I said, "I know. I've been doing this a long time, man. I've been doing this a long time, y'all, and I'm gonna be the first one to tell you. I have a great staff, and I know when everybody call by the office or email the office, they want my staff to be as amazing as me, as great as a staff that I have. Um, y'all, I have a lot of years of making mistakes and a lot of years of dealing with people. So sometimes they may not have all the answers. That doesn't mean that they can't get the information from me. It's just that if you call want somebody on my team and they just maybe just don't have that answer, just hang tight. I got it. I got it. And sometimes it takes me to go in there to kind of help do some things for people. You know what I'm saying? But man, I do this. If you trust the process and understand that it's a process, I can get you to the other side. I can get you to the other side. I just need you to just trust the process. Is it overnight? No. Somebody asked, can I get funded in 3 months? I don't know. It's gonna take you at least 6. So no one can come on here and say he promised to give me some money in 30 days. No, I can help. Thank you, Brandon. Can I remove my name from a C corp? Why would you want to do that? In what regards? All I want people to do is just slow the thinking down for a second. Just slow the thinking down for a second. Everything is just dependent upon what you have. You for real. Go ahead, G. Um, just slow your thinking down. Allow us to do what we do best, and come to the classes. Take the math. Like just don't overthink it, y'all. Like I can promise, do not overthink it. Don't seriously, y'all. The best advice I can give you when you take this journey, come in it with an open mind. It's like I almost want you to forget everything you ever knew. Please, like do yourself that favor. Yes, I'm familiar. All the statuses. I run a tax office. And I tell you what, if I ain't familiar, I'll become familiar. But yes, does your product help us get funding once the needed steps are taken in 3 months? I'm sorry, in 6 months, Nia Page. It's about rotating money. It's literally about rotating money, rotating money. Yes. And I try to share testimonies of other people because I want other people. I want you to hear from other people. I may not listen, man. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes, y'all. I have made mistakes. Hell, I forgot. I had a consultation one day. I forgot about it. Like I'm human. Yes, you can. Yeah, you can convert. Do you need an office in Wyoming in order to set? No, you don't. You don't need an office. You can have a registered agent address. The whole purpose of us getting you a commercial lease in Wyoming so that way you can take advantage of the tax benefits. Josie, do me a favor, please, 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 please. Seriously, a corporation is already seen as a person. Your name being on the EIN, it's just shown as a responsible party. A responsible party isn't an owner. You see what I'm saying? Like, don't slow down, slow down. Seriously, if you can do that for me, the masterclass is the masterclass, or the legacy build. Which product is the masterclass? Yeah, that's a lot. Which product is the masterclass is where we teach you. I give you 6 courses with some ebooks that teaches you a lot of this stuff. The legacy builder is me going in to open either 4 or 5 companies for you. You ready? I saw the email about you trying to split the payment. Um, I don't do Zelle, but I want to try to figure out if there's another way we can do it. I do bank to bank transfers. I can definitely do that. Dwayne, are we creating the trust with the program? No. Are you taking in any new clients? Yes. I have 3 LLCs in one corp. We can definitely convert those LLCs. Do you teach about going into the banks and getting a loan also? As a matter of fact, I do. That masterclass, how to get funding, that masterclass, I sure do. You will never get an inbox from me. And I would either respond. There's about 14 fake TikTok pages. I just found out there was a fake Instagram page. I mean, fake Facebook page. Listen, y'all. I have one TikTok, one Instagram that says Dwayne underscore the Mac. I do not have a Telegram account. I just learned that there's somebody that's telling people follow him on Instagram. I don't even know what the hell Telegram is. I swear, y'all, I don't. It's just me. TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. What about grants? I got something special for my members only for grants. I've written so many grants. Yes. Katrina, yeah, they do. Yeah, yeah, they do bank transfers. I'm telling you, because I was trying to do that afterpay or that Klarna, and I found out that I've now got access to do bank transfers. I can't. I probably need to. Yes, I can do bank transfers. Do you teach how to do a REIT and operate it? Yes. Same price if I have the legacy. Where is it at? Same price for the legacy builder if I have one C corp already? Yes. I am doing wholesaling and fixing flip with single member LLC. I get, I get it, and I really do get why people do that. I just again, it's just something to consider. Yeah, man, I have so many hacked, so many people that's trying to. Yeah, yes, I tried messaging on TikTok and it says your account is suspended. My account? Oh no, I've reported. No, 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 no. So I've reported. I've reported, and I don't know what's going on with my little. Maybe because I'm on live. I've reported. I've reported these fake pages. Go ahead and check for me, Shanice, real quick. Do I teach about getting government contracted? No, it's not suspended. You messaged the wrong one. Hey, Zamar. Yep, thank you. Yeah, it's not suspended. Yes, you can book a call, please. In fact, I wish everybody would just go seriously. Like honestly, I swear on my life, make your life easy. If y'all want a one-on-one, go schedule a consultation. Now I'm gonna say this with love. Know this comes from a loving place, y'all. Please know this comes from a loving place. Schedule a consultation. It's gonna cost you $125. I'm worth way more than $125. Let me just go ahead and put that out there. If you feel that if you want to talk one on one, it's a 30-minute session. If you feel that paying $125 is too much, I'm probably not your guy. I do a lot for people, y'all, and I don't want to have to feel like I think it's important. Thank you, I appreciate that, Adolphus, for real. You need a out. Well, I do have a mentorship program. If you need a mentor, takes up to 30 days. I tell people give me 30 days. If you want to be a part of the mentorship program, you can do it once a month or twice a month, but it's going to cost you $300 an hour. That's when we really dig deep into your profile. We really dig deep into your business. You know what I consider this to be? I ain't gonna lie. This executive mentorship, This is me. This is where we are forming a relationship. And when I say relationship, like, because I'm going to ask you some really personal and deep questions. Um, but it's really just to guide you and put you on the right path, sincerely, like just to help you. No, I don't help with grants. So if I join, I think you said open up 3 to 4 corporations. Is that correct? Yes. Let me just say this, yo. Let me say this. If you want to convert, if you just need just a conversion, go to LLC to corp conversion. Just take a look at my website and hit the load more at the bottom. Just take a look at we. There's a lot of different things that we offer. How much money did it cost you to build everything you got online? Oh, Jay. What you mean, like the whole website? Everything, like just my website itself? Everything collectively on my website. I mean, you have to understand, like over time, it's probably about 6,000 in. But I mean, but man, I got all kind of stuff on this website. I got stuff that I don't even show people on this website. You see, like if you go to more, watch this. Huh. See, if you hover over more, it says refund and dispute policy, privacy policy, terms of use, cookie policy, refer friends. Actually, I think I'm up there. Then watch this. Click the word blog. Here's what happens. I love to write. I'm a two-time. I'm a published author. I got blogs for days. If you just want to watch videos, I got videos for days. How long do you have access to the masterclass when you purchase it? You ready? Drum roll. Lifetime. Lifetime. Uh, who did your site? This guy right here. The guy that I'm always on TikTok with. None other than King himself. Penn Business Solutions. PEN Business Solutions. This is how his websites come up. Look, it's pretty cool. How would you recommend to pay my kids? Uh, like on regular payroll, not Cash App or anything, just regular payroll. You want to know the website? All right, here's the website. And I gotta go, yo. I actually have a call, a really important call. My wife scheduled for us, so it's extremely important. Listen, I would love. Are you making your own ebook? I wrote it. I had somebody else do it for me. I would love to help everybody. I would love for people to purchase the Legacy Builder. And by the way, let me go ahead and say this. Mm-mm. I shouldn't have to address this, but let me address it. Somebody made a comment. Why would y'all pay him? Catch this. Let me show you people's mindsets. Every other day, whatever the case is, just hit me. Somebody on one of my when I was telling people about the Legacy Builder, somebody commented, why would y'all pay or something like that? Like if 100 people paid $3,500, do the math. How much money is he making, right? That goes to show you the level of ignorance. First of all, when I open up companies for you, I have to pay the Secretary of State. That's $200 each one, depending on which state it's in. Let's say average $200 each one. So at a minimum, what, $8 to $1,000 out of the? Let's do the math. I want to just show you. Hold on, hold on. I told y'all I'm that guy. I'm transparent. I'm that guy. I'm that guy. Let's do the math. Let's do the math. Hold on. I'm that guy. Thank you. Thank you. Say it again. $300 in Texas. In Texas. Do the math. So if it costs Let's just call it. Let's hold on. 27.99 minus 1,000 at a bare minimum for the state fee, right? Minus the nonprofit. If I do your nonprofit, because I'm doing your 501c3 application, that's 15.49. Now, mind you, I charge $20 a month. $20 for 2 classes every month, minus $240 for the year. By the way, I have to go get you a commercial lease in Wyoming. I don't make no money off of that. That's their fee, $550, right? Not to mention, I have to write your business plan, right? Let's just call me writing your business plan. It's going to cost me $500 of worth of time. Not to mention, I'm giving you the master class for free. Hold on. I'm not going to add that as a cost. Cool. Let's just say it's not. But remember, I got payroll. When I tell you, and I'm gonna leave y'all with this, and I swear, and I'm going after this. When I tell you right now that I'm genuinely trying to help, I lose every time because I'm trying to help, and I'm gonna leave that at that. So if y'all can't see the value in it, I can't make you see it. Have a great day.